I've studied over 5,000 ads in the past 7 years, and here's what I learned. Winning ads aren't random, they're predictable. Almost every single one is built using the same 6 pillars. And once you know how to combine them, winning ads stops being something that happens by luck, but something you can repeat over and over. And I know this because I've used these pillars to create ads that have generated millions for my own business and over 100 million for my clients in pretty much every industry out there. So here's what I'm gonna break down in this video. First, what the 6 pillars of winning ads are, and once you know them, making winning ads becomes so much easier. Second, real examples of winning ads so you can see these pillars in action for proof. And finally, a simple workbook you can use today to apply these principles and make more winning ads. So let's not waste any time and dive right into it. Here are the 6 pillars of winning ads. Now, out of these 6, 4 are essential and 2 are optional, but they'll amplify your results even further. So let's start with the 4 essentials, because if you miss any of these, your ads are basically guaranteed to fail. So pillar 1 is they immediately call out the market desire, meaning right away, the ad calls out the core outcome your customers want to hook them in. Pillar 2 is they present a unique solution. So once they're hooked in, the ad explains how the product can get them their desired outcome in a unique, novel way they haven't seen before. Pillar 3 is they demonstrate the benefits, meaning the ad visually shows how the product will make their life better so they actually taste the outcome. Pillar 4 is they provide proof. So the ad shows real results from customers or data to back up the product works to reduce skepticism. Now, once you have those core 4 in place, you have the foundations of a very strong ad. The next 2 pillars aren't always required, but when you include them, they can significantly increase your conversions. So pillar 5 is they remove risk, meaning the ad explains a no-brainer guarantee to remove all risk for someone to buy your product. And finally, pillar 6 is they have a clear call to action. So the ad tells the viewer exactly what to do next to get the result. Those are the 6 pillars almost all winning ads have in common. And the reason these principles work is they're the fundamental triggers that put someone in a state to buy from you. Think about it. You're calling out an outcome they want, you're showing them a unique way to get it, you're proving it works, you're removing all risk for them to try it, and you're telling them exactly how to get it. That's a winning formula. And once I realized this, it became so much easier for me to create winning ads because I realized I didn't have to be some incredible marketer or copywriter to make winning ads. All I had to do was assemble these 6 pillars together in my ads, and I could start creating winners repeatedly. So with that being said, let's break down some real winning ads together so you can see these pillars in action. And as we go through these, pay attention to how many of these 6 pillars are in each ad. So let's start by breaking down this first winning ad, which is an ad I ran in my agency that generated me hundreds of clients and over 7 figures in revenue. So let's play it and go through it together.
Hey, Tisu here, and I'll keep this quick. If you want to scale up your revenue and sales,
so bang, right away, I'm calling out the market desire. I'm saying if you want to scale up your revenue and sales, because I know that is the desire that any brand has who's hiring an advertising agency. They want to scale their revenue and sales. So I'm saying that right away to hook them in. Let's continue.
Guarantee a 10x ROI working with us. So for every $1 you give us, you're guaranteed to make $10 back in return.
Bang. Now I'm presenting a unique solution once I've got them hooked in. I'm saying, hey, we guarantee a 10x ROI working with us. That is a unique promise they haven't heard before from other agencies. Let's continue.
And want to know the best part? We'll do it purely on results. So there's no upfront fees, there's no useless monthly retainers that lead to no results, none of that.
So bang, I'm not done just yet. I'm also making this offer even more unique by saying how there's no upfront fees, there's no useless monthly retainers. So my offer was extremely unique because we guaranteed a 10x ROI and there was no upfront fees or retainers. And on top of that, I'm demonstrating the benefits because I know my target market of business owners has likely worked with an agency, paid upfront fees, got burned, or got locked into monthly retainers that led into no results. So I'm explaining the benefits directly and presenting a unique solution. That's why this ad did so much goddamn damage.
We only get compensated on the additional revenue and sales we bring into your company that you're currently missing out on. So that way you can't lose. Now, if you're skeptical after hearing a big promise like that, which you should be, this is the internet after all, just click on this ad and let me back up everything I just said.
So now I'm setting up the social proof section because I know after I make a large promise saying 10x ROI guaranteed, pay nothing out of pocket, the first thing in any reasonable business owner's mind is, I don't trust this guy. He's just saying random shit on the internet. So I need to address that skepticism. That's why I'm saying, I know you probably don't believe me. So click on this ad and let me back this up by showing you a bunch of case studies and proof. So I'm addressing that directly. Let's continue.
You're going to see countless 6, 7, and 8-figure brands who you might recognize who work with us to increase their revenue and sales in their company. And I'm confident if you're the right person, we can do it for you too, and we'll do it purely on results.
So I'm calling the situation out. I'm saying we've worked with plenty of 6, 7, 8-figure brands. Click on this ad. You're going to see them and you're likely going to recognize them as well. And I'm saying if you're the right brand, we can generate results for you as well. So that is addressing the social proof. And also one other thing is you know, the fifth element is removing risk, but removing risk is already removed in my offer because I have a guarantee and saying there's paying nothing out of pocket to get started.
And guarantee a 10x ROI working with us. So if that sounds fair to you, go ahead, click on this ad. It's gonna take you to a page with a video that explains things in more detail. And if you like what you see, go ahead, book in a call and let's talk.
So now I'm going through the call to action. I'm saying, if you like what you see, book in a call, let's talk. Go ahead and click on this ad. So I'm very clearly telling the reader, or viewer rather, what step I want them to take next with clicking on the ad and then eventually booking a call. And one funny thing about this ad here is this really shows that your ads don't need to be perfect if you get the messaging right. This is an ad I shot in my parents' house, in my bedroom with no mic on my iPhone, and it generated over 7 figures in revenue when I first started out. So it goes to show if you get these elements right, you can absolutely crush it. Now, this ad had all 6 of these elements. It called out the market desire. It presented a unique solution. It demonstrated the benefits. It provided proof. It removed all risk, and it had a clear call to action. And that is why it worked. Next, let's break down this second ad from Manscaped. So let's play this together.
This man is about to make mincemeat of his man part. Manscaped's Lawnmower 4.0 was specifically designed to make below-the-waist grooming easy.
So right away, it is calling out the market desire, which is making below-the-waist grooming easy. And in the hook of this ad, you saw a dude who was about to make mincemeat of his goddamn balls, right? And like, if you're a dude, you know, there's nothing worse than getting nicked in the nuts. And it is leading in with that in the hook to get your attention. And then it's calling out the market desire saying, hey, this is going to make below-the-waist grooming easy. Let's continue.
I'm talking about trimming all parts of the male anatomy, even trimming your featuring skin-safe technology. This trimmer helps.
Now it's saying featuring skin-safe technology, which is part of a unique solution. And it's physically showing a person putting their finger over the trimmer. So like as a dude, I'm thinking, okay, well, if I can put my finger over the trimmer, it's probably not going to hurt my balls, right? And it's showing that. It knows what their market wants, right?
Reduce the risk of nicking or snagging your man parts.
And it's also going through the benefits, you know, showing the product, showing how it's not going to nick or snag or all of that stuff.
And it's waterproof, so you can trim your hedges in the shower. This trimmer is trusted by over 4 million men worldwide. Do yourself a favor.
Trusted by over 4 million men worldwide. So it's showing social proof that millions of customers have bought this to trim down below. So now you're going to feel safe that this is probably a pretty good product. Let's continue.
Buy Manscaped's precision tools for your family jewels.
So there it has the call to action. Try Manscaped's I don't know the exact thing, but it basically is telling you to buy this dang thing and test it out. So that is another ad. And hopefully you're starting to see that all we are doing in these ads is we are assembling those 6 principles together in the most attractive way possible to sell your product. And this is such a big realization, at least for me, that I hope you're having, that you don't need to be some crazy copywriter. If you know the principles that get people to buy and you can assemble them in the right way, you can get people to take action and buy your product. Next, let's look at this third ad here from True Classic. And you know, you probably know True Classic if you're in the e-commerce space. If you don't, I'm going to introduce you to them. They sell t-shirts that fit well and they have sold millions of them. So let's break down this ad.
True Classic has created the best fitting tees ever made. Look less.
So right away it calls out the market desire. It says True Classic makes the best fitting t-shirts for men. It's calling that out. I'm wearing a True Classic t-shirt right now. And you know, one of the things you want with a good t-shirt is one that's fits you well, and it's calling that desire right away.
Boxy.
They have a little room in the stomach, they're still tight around the arms.
And more built.
So now it's demonstrating the product by showing it in use in a workout setting, which you saw, and it's also showing proof with customers who are using this product as well, which I really like. So let's continue.
Arms. And more built.
It complements my shoulders, my chest, my back.
With True Classic's unique fitted design. Look less uncomfortable.
So all it's doing here is it's continuing to demonstrate the benefits by saying, you know, look less uncomfortable and more touchable.
More touchable.
I don't know if that's something that happens often. Like if I'm wearing this t-shirt, I'm not getting girls who just like touch me and shit. I'm pretty sure that's like assault. But let's continue.
With material made from Cloud9.
Softest shirt I've ever had in my life.
And it's so comfortable.
And now it's basically just showing a testimonial mashup that it works, right? And it's again reiterating the core outcome that people want, which is owning the best t-shirt ever that fits you well and makes you look nice.
T-shirt ever made. Available in countless styles. And the most colors on the market. Over 10 million sold.
Over 10 million sold. So that is social proof. Like when I hear over 10 million sold, if you're a dude, you're probably like, okay, why have 10 million men bought this t-shirt? Or females if they make t-shirts for women as well, I don't know. But that's the first thing in my mind. It causes FOMO. This is probably a pretty darn good t-shirt if 10 million other men have bought it. And that's what they're addressing.
40,000 plus 5-star reviews.
40,000 5-star reviews, baby. That is more social proof.
And mother-in-law approved. See why everyone's raving about these tees.
The people at True Classic Tees knows what's up.
It feels like I don't even have a shirt on.
And that's their call to action. So they're saying 50% off on select packs. So you can see this is another ad that has multiple of these elements together. And let's look at one final example together, which is from Hyros. And this is a great ad to model. Now what Hyros is a tracking company that allows you to see your ad data better so you can scale your ads further. That's my pitch for using Hyros. I think it's great. So let's run through this ad.
You want customers from ads much cheaper and to scale much further? Our software
So right away, it is calling out the market desire of basically every damn advertiser in the world, which is, do you want to scale your ads further and get customers cheaper? They're calling that out right away because that is music to an advertiser's ear.
will do that for you, or you don't pay for it. No, seriously.
Ooh, and now it's saying if Hyros doesn't get you that solution or doesn't help you scale your ads further, you don't pay for it. So it's removing the risk.
If you put Hyros on your website, it takes 2 seconds, and you don't start getting customers much cheaper from your ads, and you aren't able to scale at least 20% further from using our print tracking combined with AI optimization, you don't.
So now it just introduced its unique solution. It's saying if it doesn't get you the outcome of scaling your ads further using print tracking and AI optimization, whatever the heck that is their unique solution. Print tracking plus AI optimization. And it's also presented as a unique solution because you don't fully know what the software does just yet. Like he's not outright saying it, but he's saying it only takes 2 seconds for you to set up. So you're also thinking, it is this fast thing that can help you scale your ads further. And he's doing this really, really well. And let's continue with the ad here. This is one of my favorite ads.
Don't pay for it. The thing is, when people put this on their site and use this with their ads, they do get those results. That's why big brands like ClickFunnels.com, Tom Bilyeu's ImpactTheory.com, Inc. Graziosi and Tony Robbins Mastermind.com, 6, 7, 8, and 9-figure e-commerce.
So this section is all social proof, right? Because again, he has a big claim. He's introduced his unique solution, and now he's saying, hey, some of the biggest brands are using this and showing proof of that. So now if you're an advertiser, if you're on the other end, you're like, what the heck is this? Why are some of the biggest brands that I recognize using this? Like, he is hitting all of these cylinders really well.
Commerce brands like LadyBoss.com, massive influencers with millions of followers, sales and ads leaders like Dan Henry, and even one of the highest revenue ClickFunnels funnels of all time out.
I'm gonna move this a little bit further here, and let's
using it. And that's why I can make a crazy guarantee like that, because this is real, this is working right now, and hundreds of businesses are using it. And if you're not one of the...
That's really good because now he's using FOMO. He's basically saying hundreds of other businesses are using it. This is a real thing. And if you're not using this, you're at a disadvantage. So if you're an advertiser, you're like, well, I don't want to be at a disadvantage. How do I use this thing?
Businesses using it, you're at a disadvantage because you're paying more to get a customer than they are. You don't got to be at a disadvantage.
All right.
Click this ad. I'll explain exactly how Hyros works.
And that is his call to action. He's saying, click this ad and I'll show you exactly how Hyros works. So hopefully by going through these ads together, you'll see it all comes down to simply assembling these 6 principles together in the most attractive way possible to sell your product. Now let's go over a worksheet you can use today to put these principles into action to create more winning ads. And to get this worksheet for free, simply go to the first pinned comment below and I'll send it your way. And make sure to get this sheet so you can follow along and start seeing results. So we're on the worksheet right now and let's fill it out. So the first thing we had to fill out is the core outcome. So what is the core outcome your customer wants most? What would make them instantly think, this is for me? So let's say, for example, I'm a creative agency and I sell creatives for brands. The core outcome that brands want if they're buying creatives is they want more winning ads. So that's what I'm going to fill out in this first column. So for your product, fill out the core outcome your customers want when they're buying your product. The next column here is our unique solution. So how does your product get them the outcome they desire most in a unique way they haven't seen before? So your product has to get them the outcome in a unique way, whether it's faster, easier, less risk, or more effective, or maybe multiple of those combined together. And this is so important because if your ideal customer can't instantly see how your product gets them the outcome they desire most in a unique, novel way, they're likely not going to buy your product because you have no competitive advantage. So you need to make sure you have this. Like the biggest reason I see ads fail is typically because they don't have anything unique about the product. So make sure to get this right and think through this. So in this example for my creative agency, we have a done for you ad creative service that guarantees winning ads every week or you don't pay for it. That is what makes it unique. Then the third column here is a visual demonstration. How can you visually demonstrate your product benefits? What would make someone instantly understand how your product works? So in this example, I could visually show creative examples, or I can visually show large brands we work with and scale, because that is demonstrating that if we work with large brands and help them scale, that these creatives have generated results. And then number 4 is proof. So what proof can you include to back up your claims and remove skepticism instantly? And you can do this by testimonials, data, or reviews. So in this example, I can mention we work with hundreds of brands they might recognize. So those are the core 4 that we need to have in place. The next 2 are optional. So number 5 is the risk reversal. So what guarantee can we add to remove all risk from trying the product? And the guarantee in this and our risk reversal is guaranteed winning creatives every week or you don't pay for it. And finally, we have our call to action. So what action do you want the viewer to take next? And I want them to click on the ad and book a call. So these are the 6 elements that we have in the ad. Now let's actually break down an ad that followed this to a T for my creative agency offer. And this got a bunch of clients. So let's break it down together. Want more winning ads at scale? Or done for you creative? So right away, I just called out the outcome my target customers want. You can see I say want more winning ads at scale. Where did I get that from? I got that from this first thing, the core outcome. I'm just calling out the outcome they want. Let's continue. Creative service guarantees to give you winning ads at scale every single week or you don't pay for it. Bang, I just hit them with the unique solution. I'm saying our done for you creative service guarantees you winning ads every single week or you don't pay for it. And what is that? That is the second column. So hopefully you're seeing here, all I'm doing is I'm filling this out and assembling these ads. One of the biggest realizations to have is that for me, all I have to do is once I fill out these principles, I'm just assembling them together to sell my product. It makes creating winning ads so much easier. Let's keep going. That's why countless million-dollar brands like Rapid Radios, Northbound Gear, Slouch Potato, Agency Mavericks, and hundreds of other brands have used our creative to scale their ads further. So right here, I'm showing proof that our creative works. I'm mentioning large brands that they likely recognize and the amount of brands that we've worked with. And if brands have worked with us to build their creatives that they might recognize, it indicates that these creatives likely work. And that's demonstrating the benefits of the product. Because it's guaranteed to work or you don't pay for it. And right now, your creative is more important than ever. You probably noticed ad platform targeting is getting broader and broader. So now I'm starting to build the case on why creatives are so important right now. I'm mentioning how ad platform targeting is getting broader and broader, so your creatives carry more weight to really build the case on why they need this. Which means your creatives carry most of the weight. And if you don't have a process for testing creatives every single week, you're at a massive disadvantage because you'll deal with rising ad costs, ad fatigue, and the inability to scale your ads. Now I'm mentioning the consequences they're going to likely face if they don't have this in place with rising ad costs, ad fatigue, etc. And I'm saying you're at a disadvantage if you do not have at least some process to test creatives weekly inside of your business, depending on your level of spend. Now, the good news for you is our done for you creative service solves that by giving you winning ads at scale every single week, guaranteed. So if that sounds good to you and you're spending over $30,000 a month on, so I'm reiterating the offer and the guarantee to reduce risk. And now I'm going into my call to action. Meta ads, go ahead and click on this ad. It's going to take you to a page that explains how our service works in more detail, and you'll see countless case studies and results as well. So I won't go through the rest of it, but that's my call to action section. So you can see all we are simply doing here is taking what is in this worksheet, the elements here, and basically following it to a T when we are presenting our ad. And that is the reason these ads are effective. So go ahead and use this worksheet to inject these 6 principles into your ads. The more of these you include and the better you get at applying them together, the more winning ads you'll create. So get after it and happy scaling.